The 1934 American League Baseball tour to Japan, we thought it would be fun to talk about the 1934 tour. We have with us Rob Fitz, who literally wrote the book on the tour, a book called Bonsai Babe Ruth that came out in 2012. On top of which, a really neat discovery was made just recently here at the Hall of Fame, and that is that our multimedia team discovered some footage that we didn't realize we had of the 1934 tour, taken by Jimmy Fox, Hall of Famer, and his wife. So we thought we would show some of the video to you and talk about what we're seeing. So Ruth was pretty important to this tour.
Yes, Ruth was paramount to this tour. They tried for 3 years to get him, and they were hoping to have the tour as early as 32, but they needed Ruth, and he finally agreed in 34. And the only caveat was Babe Ruth had to be on it. Mm-hmm. But anybody else, they could put team. And they were supposed to come up with the perfect team of stars and gentlemen.
Be doing two things. They had to play baseball, but they had to be ambassadors at the same time.
Exactly. And they took the ambassador role very seriously.
And as a historian, the guy who's researched this more than anyone else, did they pull it off? Were they good ambassadors? Or
They
was
were
there a little bit of
wonderful ambassadors. There is no record of any problems. They behaved very well, and the Japanese newspapers noted how well they behaved. So yes. So Moe Berg was one of the most interesting characters probably in the history of baseball. And most fans know that during World War II he became a spy. I mean, Moe Berg was an odd fish. He had graduated Princeton, he attended the Sorbonne, he had attended Columbia Law School. He was considered the smartest man in baseball, and he probably was.
So now how did these games work out? I mean, it was the Major League Baseball players were doing better than the...
They were pretty one-sided. Major League Baseball at that time was really much better than Japanese baseball. And they outscored the Japanese throughout the whole tour by well over 100 runs. The Japanese came close twice. There were 2 games where they almost won later in the tour, but the rest of the games were pretty much blowouts. A lot of the time, the players had a lot of time to wander the streets and take pictures. Although they were mobbed almost everywhere they went. They usually had some sort of escort to allow them to walk down the street. But for a brief time, the ball players and the tour really did bring the two countries close together.
That's amazing.
48.
Stop! What do you mean, keeping these boys in there when there's baseball to be played?
By arithmetic.
Arithmetic. 4 times 4 is 16.
Yes.
3 strikes, you're out. That's our arithmetic. Come on, boys, let's go. What do you say?
Hey, will you hit some for it? Yeah.
Well, who's going to do the pitching?
I'm the pitcher.
All right, you do the pitching and I'll do the hitting.
You guys get out in the outfield. Okay. I got it. 6 times 6 is 36. 6 times 7 is 42. 6 times 8 is 48.
Quiet.
So long.